Yes, this is our respiratory tract. In this opening which is present here is known as external layers. Then this is the internal layers. Internal layers is present at the opening, like this external layers opens into these two things. Like it has at the lower surface, it has a palate that as we can open our mouth, and the upper part of our mouth, that hard thing that we can touch, when we touch the roof of our mouth, we can feel a hard bony thing, and that is known as the palate. And above the palate, there is a chamber, that is basically this is the chamber, nasal chamber. And in the nasal chamber, there are certain scroll-like folds, like it appears like somebody has folded the paper. When we fold the paper, when we fold a newspaper, we get a scroll-like thing. Just a second. Like, see, if we are folding a paper this way, so this is known as a scroll. Okay, so this scroll-like thing, scroll-like foldings are there in the nasal chamber, and that scroll-like foldings is known as conchae or turbinals. Okay, as you can see here certain folds. Now these folds or conchae are of three types, that is inferior conchae, lateral conchae and superior conchae. And this inferior and lateral conchae are present here, and at the prior part of the nasal chamber, and at the latter part, at the back portion, is the superior conchae present. So these three folds or conchae are present in the nasal chamber. Now this external layers followed by the nasal chamber, which has all the three types of conchae, and it ends up into the internal layers. After internal layers is the nasopharynx. This internal layers opens into nasopharynx. And at the end of the palate, you can see a hanging structure which is known as uvula. When you open your mouth and see in front of the mirror, you can see a certain hanging oval shaped structure in your mouth, that is known as uvula. And this was about it. Now this nasal chamber is basically divided into three parts, that is vestibular chamber, respiratory chamber and olfactory chamber. All these three chambers have different roles. Vestibular chamber is its main function is filtration of air. This is the vestibular chamber, okay, which has fine hairs, and what is its role? Its role is filtration of air. So this is the feature of vestibular chamber. It is lined by hair. It also has mucous membrane. So mucous membrane along with the lining of air helps in filtration of air. How does it filter? What does it do? Basically, when we breathe in air, a lot of dust particles enter through our nose. So this vestibular chamber basically helps in blocking the dust particles and allowing only the pure air to go inside our body. So this is vestibular chamber. Next is respiratory chamber. Respiratory chamber is again lined by mucous membrane, but is also vascular, means richly supplied by blood. Now, why this chamber is vascular? Because this respiratory chamber acts as air conditioners. Okay, what does the air conditioner do? Now, new models of air conditioners have been coming up, in which if the air is hot, the air in your room is hot, means ultimately if your room is hot, it will make the room cool, and if the room is cool, it will make it hot. That is, you can use it both as heaters as well as air conditioners. So this 2-in-1 air conditioners are now coming up. So this respiratory chamber is act like 2-in-1 air conditioners. How? Like in winters, the air around us is very cold. So in our body, neither cold air is accepted, neither very hot air is accepted. The air which will go through the trachea to the lungs, ultimately the air should be of a normal temperature. It should not be too hot nor too cold. So in how does it regulate the temperature is that when we inhale cold air, especially during the winter season, so what does it do? It is highly vascular, as I already told. So there is rich blood supply to the membrane. Means this respiratory chamber is lined with mucous membrane and also along with blood vessels. It has a lot of blood vessels, and so blood is supplied to the respiratory chamber, to the membrane. And when blood is supplied, so heat radiation to air and air gets warmer. When blood comes, there is rich supply of blood. So when blood comes with very high speed, so what happens? Lot of heat is radiated. Okay, as soon as we inhale cold air, there is quick supply of blood into the respiratory chamber, and due to the immediate huge supply of blood into the respiratory chamber, this rushing movement of blood causes the production of heat. Heat is produced, and ultimately it makes the air warmer. Okay, the air which has entered into the respiratory chamber gets warmer because of quick supply of blood into this blood vessels. In blood vessels, of course, blood flows continuously, but when cold air enters, so the blood flow increases. And when blood flow increases, so it radiates heat, produces heat, and that heat is used to make the cold air warmer. Okay, and in opposite to it, when we inhale warm air or hot air during summer season, when there is loo, when there is movement of hot winds, when there is loo in during the summer season, so hot air has got in. Now when we inhale hot air, there is more mucus formation. That's why respiratory chamber has mucous membrane and vascular. Vascular nature is helpful when we inhale cold air, and mucous membrane is important when we inhale hot air. So when we inhale warm or hot air, more mucous is formed by the mucous membrane, and mucus evaporates. Mucus contains water in it, so mucus starts evaporating, and we all know when anything gets evaporated, it carries heat also along with it, and thereby leaving coolness behind. So more mucus is secreted, and when mucus evaporates, heat is taken from the hot air. Heat is taken and thereby leaving a cooling effect, or ultimately bringing that hot air to normal temperature. See, when we sweat during the summer season, what happens? When we come from outside, we are sweating. We sit beneath a fan, and when we sit beneath a fan, we feel cool. Why? Because the sweat is getting evaporated, and sweat is carrying our body's heat along with it, and it's getting evaporated, thereby leaving us cool, leaving coolness behind. So same thing is happening here also. I do not mean cool means extremely cold. I mean the hotness of the air is gone, and the air has come to a normal temperature. Okay, so this is what is the that's why we are saying the respiratory chamber acts as air conditioner. When we inhale cold air, there is immediate blood supply, which increases the heat production and thereby makes the air warmer. And when we inhale warm air, there is more of mucus secretion, and as mucus evaporates, it takes the heat from the air and thereby making the air normal, come to a normal temperature. So this is what is the role of respiratory chamber. And then next, third part of nasal chamber is olfactory chamber. Olfaction. Wherever you hear this word olfactory or olfaction, means it is dealing with smell. So olfactory chamber helps in smelling anything, and we get all different types of smell due to this presence of olfactory chamber. And this olfactory chamber is lined with sensory membrane. That is, what is the sensory membrane also known as? It's also known as Cnidarian membrane. Some call it as Schinderian membrane also, some call it as Cnidarian membrane also. As whatever you want to pronounce, you can pronounce, but spelling should be absolutely correct. This is my main concern. So this is, I pronounce it as Cnidarian membrane. So Cnidarian membrane, this olfactory chamber has a lining of sensory membrane, and that membrane is known as Cnidarian membrane, and this membrane is basically made up of olfactory cells, and the cells help us in smelling out anything. Okay, so these are the three types of or three parts of nasal chamber which has different function. Olfactory chamber has the role of smell. Respiratory chamber acts as air conditioners, which makes the warm air come to normal. Cooler makes warm air cooler and cold air warmer comparatively. And then vestibular chamber does the work of filtration. These are the three concha or folds which are present in the nasal chamber. That is, inferior concha is also known as maxilloturbinal, because I already told that concha is also known as turbinals. The straw-like folds which is present in the nasal chamber is known as concha or turbinals. So that's why inferior concha is also known as maxilloturbinal, lateral concha is also known as ethmoturbinal, and superior concha is also known as nasoturbinal. This inferior and lateral concha are present in the respiratory chamber. Just now I have told you that this nasal chamber is divided into three parts, that is vestibular chamber, or respiratory chamber, and olfactory chamber. So this in vestibular chamber there is no concha. This concha is present in respiratory chamber and olfactory chamber. So in respiratory chamber, inferior and lateral concha are present, whereas this in olfactory chamber only superior concha is present. So with this we have finished the four parts of our respiratory tract, that is external nares, then internal nares, internal nostrils, or which is also known as internal nares, and nasal chamber. It starts from external nares, then nasal chamber, and then internal nares. So now in our next video we'll be studying about the next part of the respiratory tract, that is larynx, which is also known as voice box.